It's hard to believe, but I've just cleared my third full year of life without a paycheck, of life beyond corporate. And today I'd like to share the raw, unfiltered truth of what it really took, what it broke, and what we've ultimately built so far. I hope this both grounds you and inspires you. Let's dive in. Welcome to Uncage Yourself. I'm Matt Doan. On this show, we explore strategies to help family-focused professionals smartly graduate corporate life and build entrepreneurial freedom. Our goal? Maximize freedom, income, and impact. See MatthewDoan.com for more. Now, let's dive in. I just cleared 3 full years since choosing possibility over paycheck. March 11th, 2022 is my self-declared freedom day, when I walked away from corporate America for good. Each year I reflect on this and try to say to myself how far I've come. How do I measure my success and understand what it truly required and what it's delivered so far, what I've had to give up, and ultimately what I've gained, what my family's gained, what the people in the world that I seek to help have gained. I'll tell you, time flies. I can't believe that we're already past 3 years at this point. But let me frame up how this has gone for you. There's this idea from one of my favorite authors, Seth Godin. He talks about the dip, where there's this great excitement when you get going on something, but then there's this inevitable valley where you dive into a state of, oh shit, this is hard, where your initial excitement crashes with this harsh reality of getting something new off the ground, where it's going to be hard. And why wouldn't it be hard? Where anything worthwhile demands that you navigate this really tough valley. And it lasts longer and hurts more than you ever anticipated. Seth calls this out very well. And I'll tell you, that's exactly what I experienced. And mind you, I had a running start. I was building my business while still in corporate. I had several iterations, even the one that exists right now, that existed when I was in corporate almost 5 years ago at this point. So this idea of the dip is absolutely what I experienced too. Because when I first left, I had these sky high expectations. I had a solid financial runway, a plan, and I just had this boundless optimism of course, this is going to succeed, and it's going to succeed quickly. But I'll tell you, I was quite naive. I wish I had paid more attention to what Seth was saying, because that dip came and reality starts to set in, where the clients don't come as fast. They don't convert as often. You start to get rejected. You start to hear no a lot more than you were used to or what you were expecting. The brilliant ideas that you have to share with the world don't resonate as much as you thought they would. And guess what? That practical thing of your financial runway, your bank account, starts shrinking faster than your revenue grows. And with a wife, 4 kids, 2 mortgages, all sorts of stuff, this left quickly from my bank account. So this whole dip, it brings tension, but it's necessary because you have these tough things that you have to face in your life, these uncomfortable conversations at home, the moments where you're questioning how you are using your time and energy each day, because you have no more safety net and you have to ask yourself, am I doing the right things in the right order? Because the results aren't happening as fast as I thought they would. And pressure, this very real pressure is there because it's all on you now. You've never had this in your life, at least I didn't, where you lacked any sort of corporate safety net. You had no team to hide behind, no big corporation, no huge Slack space for you to just take it easy. I had no guaranteed paycheck. But here's what I've come to understand in the 3+ years since leaving corporate forever. I absolutely needed that dip. I needed my back against the wall to fully rise into my potential. Those pressures weren't obstacles. They were the exact catalysts I needed in my life to push me off of this coast mode that was very real in my corporate life and instead into growth mode. The dip that I faced compelled me to invest in myself and surround myself with people who were playing at much higher levels than me. And it demanded that I develop this thick skin, this resilience inside of me that I simply didn't need when I had the safe corporate paycheck. I didn't need that, frankly. And The dip wasn't something I could avoid. I want you to know that. It's a necessary part of your journey from corporate to entrepreneur. For me, it was this passage that I had to move through to become who I needed to be. Now, 3 years later, here's what I'd like to tell anyone needing this path. 3 things. Number 1, first, it is much harder than you think. Not slightly harder, much harder. The challenges come in forms that you never anticipated. There is no magic button. There is no easy path. Don't listen to those simple sayings that they have out there on social media saying it, just click this button, follow this path. It's not that simple at all. It requires you to develop skill set, mindset, heart set at levels you've never had to before. You simply can't conceive it until you're living it daily, okay? You don't understand the inner work and the outer work that needs to take place, the person you need to be, and the things you need to build in this world. Now, that might scare some people. Hopefully not for you, but for me, it created this sort of nervous excitement, this energy that propelled me forward through all those hard times. I felt like I was busting through obstacles because that was necessary for me. Because the status quo had become so intolerable, I needed to take control of my life, of my career. I needed to use my agency. I needed to build my own path. I needed to know what that felt like. I couldn't deny it anymore. I was tired of corporate dependence, of plugging into other people's systems, even when I got really good at it, really efficient at it, because I wasn't just made to just plug in. I needed to awaken myself. I needed to inspire my family, my kids. I wanted to serve people in this world, to have meaningful, traceable impact to how I changed specific people's lives for the better. I needed that. You might call it purpose, impact, mission, whatever it is for you. If you have that fire inside of you where your work needs to mean something and you need to see it, well, that's where I was coming from. Now, the second piece about going through the dip is realize you'll have to completely leave your old life behind. Not just the job, but the identity, the credentials, the relationships, the social circles, the daily patterns that you've been used to doing for all these years. You need to wipe that clean. And I wouldn't say immediately, but as you fully get out of corporate life and you're truly on your own, you need to rebuild that from scratch. You need new patterns, new ways of showing up, programming your mind and body each day. I guarantee you, like 99% of the people in your life to that point won't apply to your new life. And that might scare some people. For me, it was truly liberating because I didn't connect with the people, my colleagues, just the general friends that were showing up in my world anymore. I needed something radically different. Maybe that is the same for you, because if you're on autopilot mode and you feel like you're just coasting and you're hitting a ceiling in your life, you're going to need new social circles. You're going to need new people who awaken and inspire you.
Hey, are you ready to finally graduate corporate life and build entrepreneurial freedom? Check out corporategraduation.com for my insider guide on smartly ramping down corporate and building a unique online business, all while creating a thriving family life. It's a short training video that could forever change how you experience work and life. Head to corporategraduation.com or see the link in the show notes. Now, back to the show.
Now, thirdly, regarding how we navigate the dip, not only is it the hardest piece that you'll ever go through, but for me, it was the most rewarding experience imaginable. Despite just countless frustrations, dark moments, tears, arguments with my wife about money, today I rarely experience stress or anxiety. And I say that with full sincerity. Even when we're facing these ballooning business credit card bills or an endless project backlog that I feel is mostly on me, despite my team that I have at my disposal, I feel calm. It's hard to explain other than this Buddha-like nature that I'm feeling. It's because I'm doing what I was meant to do. I never felt that before. I never felt like I was going through a journey early in life, through school, even through my first 15 plus years in the corporate world. I never felt like I was doing what I was meant to do. I was doing what I was proficient at, but not what I was meant to do. Now, let me ground you in the next piece. We've talked about the dip. Second element, as I want to be very real about the inner work. This was key over the last 3 years for me. The calm I experienced these days wasn't free. And I had to become someone wildly new, a new version of myself to make it this far. And the transformation, it happens from the inside out. We have to rewire our belief systems, our mental resilience, peer relationships. We have to get aligned with people who are chasing their dreams, good mentors and coaches, people in masterminds. You have to be in environments that help you raise your inner game, what you want for your life, what you're setting as goals, what you're choosing to do on a daily basis. And I'll be very blunt about this. I invested way more in myself than I ever imagined possible, far beyond what I considered reasonable. It goes over 250K at this point, a lot. And self-investment has become my great unlock. I'm not saying you have to invest at those levels, but that's what it took for me. That's where I find I'm most awakened and on fire and able to do what I need to do. And it's in my positioning as a coach to people who are looking to graduate corporate life, I see myself as having to go first. I have to learn a lot, try a lot, apply a lot, standardize a lot so that I'm then able to pass along this knowledge. So when I invest in myself, I'm investing for everyone else that I work with in the future. And these investments far outperform any sort of real estate deal or financial instrument I've ever gone through. I'm telling you, it feels like 10x, even 100x the investment. What I get when I put something into a good program, a good coaching relationship, a good mastermind, what I get in return far outpaces any stock market or any sort of financial deal I could get out there. And I've had to make these very hard choices where I've been sacrificing immediate comfort for future possibility. Little things like talking with Cecilia early on before we really got even further aligned on this entrepreneurial journey. We could put a few more bucks in savings. We could renovate a part of the house, or where my head was, we could reinvest in the business to crank the engine, to have it be stronger, produce greater returns. And that took a lot of tough conversations internally and then with her, and then having to make tough decisions. Some of them I made on my own. And I'm proud to say that as founder and CEO of this business, I had to do that. And where we are, we had to go through a lot of hard times, but these decisions that we made, we'll look back on, I know, with true gratitude. What we've done to invest in ourselves, in our business, the difference we're making in this world, the trajectory we're setting up for our futures is wildly better than the path we were on in corporate life. Now, there's a few other pieces I want to talk about. Now, just a few other pieces regarding the last 3 years. Another key was finding my tribe. I've had to normalize being very open and vulnerable with my tribe. Now, I had to find that group first. That meant for me investing tens of thousands of dollars to be in rooms that I had no business being in. I'm talking elite masterminds, high-level coaching programs, virtual groups, in-person retreats, places where people were thinking way bigger, acting way bigger, moving faster, demanding more for themselves than I ever experienced in corporate. Remember, everyone else, including me, was just plugging into a system saying, I'm giving it a lot and giving it a lot. But then you look at people that are building 1, 2, 3 businesses that they love, that they're so excited by, energized by, and they're making huge differences in this world. You want to talk about people who are pushing themselves? It's that group. I remember I created the business case with one of my employers about a decade ago for a $10,000 a year entrepreneurship program. I made the business case that it would help me as a management consultant, which it did. But more important, it got me in the room with people that dreamed like this, that operated this way. I was the only corporate person in that entire room. I flew to Toronto every quarter to be with them and to workshop together. But these types of investments completely up-leveled me. My vision, my identity, my friendships, my possibilities, and I had to leave behind so much else. But by being in these environments with my tribe, they helped me say no to everything that didn't serve my greater purpose, even if that felt a little bit fuzzy sometimes, which it still does. But they showed me new possibilities. They helped me decide on stepping into my higher self, to saying no to what no longer served me. And these are people who feel what I feel, who dream what I dream. They refuse to compromise. They also know, like me and maybe like you, that you're meant for something so much more, to create something of your own, to have ownership, to actively help people directly to create an amazing life for you and your family, not just plugging into someone else's system. That can have its purpose. It has some utility, but by really saying, no, I'm going to control my life from this moment going forward in a tangible way, in a career sense, in a money-making sense, in a how I spend my time sense every single day. When you're around these people who are committed to that life, you start to see that it's possible for you, that you too can use your genius to help people you care about. And you can affect the trajectory of your family for generations. Right now, my oldest, she's about a year away from going to college. And I'm like, wow, how time flies. I only have so many days left before I have the ability to give her new possibility so that she can see and feel from me how I took control of this, how I became entrepreneurial, how I listened to my intuition. I want her to see that. I hope she listens to that someday and she takes it to heart. I'm going to keep teaching, keep encouraging her, but I know that she and all my kids have the ability to dive within and understand what lights them up and use that for what they do as work. And when they feel that way about work, their whole life gets radically better. That's what I've experienced. So in being around your tribe, it's not just being around these people, but you start to open up at levels you've never previously considered. And it's when being vulnerable with them, it's asking tough things of them, sharing where you are. This is where you start to unlock being CEO of your own life, as founder of something, as a leader to my clients, and as creating the right household energy and path for my family. Last couple pieces I wanted to highlight in this last 3 years, the family transformation. I can't pass this. Despite all the business and financial growth we've had, which has been tremendous, and it's been feeling like a hockey stick lately, shooting up and to the right, the most profound change by far has been the energy in our home. Cecilia even joined the business in the summer of 2024 in a fuller sense. And we're finding ways that she can inject her genius, her unique skill set into the business and helping our clients directly. And she's doing an amazing job at being our lead mindset coach, our director of client success, and really helping people feel special in their journey with us in Uncaged Life Design. And you want to know what's good for a marriage, as I found out? It's breaking down those harsh, very tall walls between work and life. Maybe you've experienced them where like you go on vacation and you're like, oh, I have to put up this tall wall. I need to take a vacation so that I cannot think about work because work and life are two separate things. And therefore I need work-life balance. Like I wanted to destroy that wall. I wanted to destroy the need for balance. I just wanted to create harmony in life where they felt like one, where doing work felt like play, and could even talk about it with my wife, and she could even be a part of it. And here we are. We've connected on this shared purpose. We figured out a business model that works for the both of us. And we've built something that I never even dreamed of. If you came to me 2 years ago, I wouldn't have told you that this was even on our radar to fully be in alignment like this from a work perspective. We talk about it at nights. We talk about our clients because we love our clients and we're so deeply invested in them and wanting to help them. And we talk about it for fun because we love the work so much. That's the type of thing I'd want for you. So we had to go through a lot here where it was stressful out of the gate. And now all I feel is excitement. The challenges I face now, they're about feeling fresh and alive. They keep me waking up excited to do better and better things. And I think that's why stress and anxiety have kind of melted away. Like I said earlier, they've been replaced by this nervous, excited energy that keeps me on my toes. It keeps me growing. And I sorely lacked that in corporate life. Now I'm always slightly nervous, but also always excited. Can't wait to start work on a Monday morning. I didn't ever feel that way in corporate life. Now I do. And it starts with me each morning focusing on what I need to do and feeling genuinely excited because there are challenges I get to face. I get to do this. I don't have to do this. And that's the difference between where I was in corporate life and where I am now, 3 years after fully graduating. I chose this journey and everything associated with it. And that's wild to me that I'm fully crafting this whole experience for it. And I've got this energy inside of me, and maybe you can feel it a little bit here, that just radiates outward to all my family, peers, friends, clients, and those I'm meant to connect with in this world, even like on social media. It's everything for me. And when I think about all of this coming to life over the last few years, I want to leave you with this. The freedom that I'm talking about now actually has a lot of tangible effects. I want you to know this. I want to be very clear. You deserve to know the tangible gains I've had in my life. Well, number one, since being fully out of corporate, I've 3x'd my corporate salary so far while eliminating night and weekend work. I don't work nights and weekends. My mornings are completely sacred to me. I have time blocked for reading, writing, breathwork, meditation, walking, and doing deep work. These are tough decisions I had to make to normalize this, and now I will never give it up for anything. I get to, on a weekly basis, see my clients' lives rapidly change for the better. I am surrounded every day, because of the work I did to create this, by peers and mentors who inspire me endlessly to help me become my best self. And they become my best friends. My business friends are my best life friends because we get each other. And again, I had to learn this as we went. Another tangible thing, Cecilia and I get to host these amazing in-person retreats with these extraordinary humans we get to call clients. We get to host them, hug them, wine and dine with them, learn with them, workshop with them in beautiful environments. And this has been something awesome that we've been able to gift them. It's good for our marriage. It's good for the household energy that we have these in-person elements. Also, in Uncaged Life Design, in this program we run, Cecilia and I are working together in our respective zones of genius. And when we both feel like we're tapping into our greatness, doing what we're meant to be doing, guess what? Our marriage becomes stronger. Tangibly, in the last year especially, it's become amazing. And we had a great foundation, but I'm talking amazing. It feels great. Last couple things. These days, I'm able to coach my son's baseball teams, go to my girls' rugby games, volleyball games, something my corporate schedule didn't really allow before. Now I get to be there, very present, very alive with them. And then lastly, just talking about the kind of dream life we get to have. We're taking dream vacations. This year alone, traveling to Mexico, Croatia, Budapest, Amsterdam, and more that I'm not even thinking about yet, because that's all just normal in our life now. Now, finally, reflecting on what this whole last 3 years has been for me, I'll tell you this, it's been worth every single sacrifice. The gains have been tremendous, the highs and the lows. We've created this new normal, this new baseline in our life. We've gone through a ton of pain, a ton, tears, all sorts of stuff going through that dip, but I couldn't be more grateful. Not at all. I am just bursting with gratitude on what this journey has been. I wouldn't change it for a second. The path is not easy. It's never been easy, but it's mine. And the sheer fact that I can call it mine and direct it myself is everything to me. The challenges in this life, in entrepreneurship, aren't smaller, not at all, but they're very worthy. They feel noble. They feel like the right life challenges, the right sort of personal growth challenges I'm meant to experience. And of course, like anything, the future isn't certain, but here's what I know about this path. It is full of far more possibility than the old path. Like 100x more possibility, if not greater. And that makes all the difference. Getting to wake up to this hope, this optimism, knowing the trajectory we're creating for my family, for the people we're meant to serve, for myself, it's just everything to me. So here's an honest, sincere message. Thank you to past Matt, that person that effectively left corporate over 3 years ago. Thank you for your bravery, because I'm happier and more purposeful and more successful in my terms than I've ever been. I'm feeling healthier, wealthier, happier than I've ever been in my life. And that same thing awaits anyone that chooses their agency. Now, hopefully I've laid out clearly that the path is hard, because I'll say it again, the path is hard. Freedom is not free. And if you'd like help with that, I encourage you, head on over to matthewdoan.com. Check out our masterclass there. And if you feel called to it, book a call with us so we can explore if this sort of corporate graduation is right for you. And again, you're going to go through a dip. I went through a dip. Everyone goes through a dip. And it is harder and lasts longer than you ever experienced. But you've got to ask yourself, on my current path or the path like I'm describing, which one is going to make you more fulfilled? Which one is going to create the odds of the life that you're truly meant to be living right now? It takes a certain sort of boldness, a certain person in this world to accept what I'm saying and to actually act on it. It requires everything you have, and then it demands more. It requires you becoming someone new, reinventing your life. It requires investment, patience, and this unwavering belief in yourself, which you will build along the way. Don't expect it now. Do not await belief and confidence already. Build it as you go, because what it gives in return is worth every single sacrifice. That's what I promise you. 3 years in, I chose possibility over paycheck. I'll tell you, my friend, I'm never looking back. Reach out if we can help you. We'll chat soon.
Thanks for listening to Uncage Yourself. Check out matthewdoan.com to subscribe to the podcast and view our services and helpful resources. If you enjoy the show, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening, or just tell a friend. Talk soon.